Hey guys, it's Joe. Happy Friday. It's time for Pikkit with Joe. Oh my God, did we ever have incredible games on the ice last night? I hope you guys were happy to see the Vegas Golden Knights, the first team to move on to the next round. They absolutely dominated over the Winnipeg Jets last night. It was a fantastic game. Hopefully you guys grabbed them on that puck line or in regulation, able to get the win. Now the Rangers killed everyone last night. What the heck happened with the New York Rangers? New Jersey Devils, hats off to them, just dominating the Rangers out there on the ice. I really expected more out of the Rangers. The Devils, the first one to break that trend of the road team being the dominant team. I don't know, you guys. The Devils are not the stronger team in this matchup. Am I going to hit the Rangers again tomorrow? I want to, but this team has been letting me down. It's kind of like that bad habit you go back to each night because you do think they can get this win. We'll see what the Rangers bring tomorrow, but we've got 4 games in the meantime. Tonight, last night, 2 out of 3 on the puck line, Vegas. Yeah, and Vegas was absolutely phenomenal. So had some really good games, you guys. We got some really good games again today. I can't wait for these games to kick off. Now, just another quick thing about last night. We've got the series extended, of course, between the Lightning and Toronto. The next game will be in Tampa. The Lightning able to win that game last night, 4-2. Rangers completely got shut out, 4-0 win for the Devils, and that 4-1 win for the Vegas Golden Knights. So phenomenal night on the ice. If you were on the right side of those ones, the Devils game really threw me for a freaking loop there. Joe, you think the Kraken and the Bruin close it out tonight? I would love to see the Kraken close it out tonight, and we'll get to that game in just the next couple minutes. I do think that we can look at the Bruins to close it out. The Florida Panthers have been playing their hearts out. Another way to bet that, other than taking the Boston Bruins, though, straight up or in regulation. Vegas cashed us at in regulation -1.5. It was a beautiful cash there. We also got Mark Stone for that anytime goal, Jack. I go for that anytime goal, so hopefully you guys played some of those props tonight. You're loving the Bruins Panthers over tonight, and I'm with you. I do think we got a higher scoring one, but before we get into that one, let's talk about the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the New York Islanders. This is a series where the Canes are up 3-2. Looking to finish this off tonight in New York. Now, the Islanders stayed alive in the last game. They got that win, 3-2 in Game 5. This is Game 6 tonight. Now, Rantanen not expected in goal for Carolina. We are expected to see Frederik Andersen. And then Sorokin expected, probably more than likely, will play here for the New York Islanders. He played absolutely lights out in the last game, 36 shots on him in the last game, only allowing those 2 goals to go in. So this is a Sorokin we've been expecting. It's the shots on goal we've been expecting out of the Carolina Hurricanes. I think we can look at those shots to come in again in this one. I also think we can look at Sorokin to go up and over his save numbers in this game as well. Sorokin coming in, and let's just see if we've got confirmation, because until we have confirmation, we're not getting a number here for the goalie prop. Sorokin has been confirmed. 30.5 save shots on goal is his number tonight. We're getting that at +102 to the over. Carolina, the last game, put up 36 shots on goal. Only 22 shots for the Islanders in that 3-2 win. I do think Carolina brings that force of shots on Sorokin in this one. They had 34.8 average shots on goal during the regular season. The New York Islanders only averaging that 30.8, but the difference really, Carolina's ability to limit their opponents' shots on goal. They held teams to an average of 26 shots on goal per game, where the Islanders gave up those shots. They rely on Sorokin to really stand on his head, so they give up an average of 31. I love his number, 30.5 to the over with that beautiful +102 money. I think it's a phenomenal way to go with Sorokin here. Now, Sebastian Aho's been pivotal for the Carolina Hurricanes. Don't get it wrong. Don't get the Sebastian Aho on the New York Islanders. We know there's one on both, but Carolina Sebastian Aho, I really like what we've seen out of him. Brock Nelson has been good for the Islanders as well as Bo Horvat. So when we look at this, as who is going to win this one, you guys? I don't know, to be honest with you. I'd love to see the New York Islanders extend this out to 7, but do they have what it takes? I just don't know if they can get the goals needed on Frederik Andersen here to beat the Carolina Hurricanes. So instead of taking a side, I'm going to stay off a side in this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at that first period. I'm going to hit the under 1.5. This is one of those things, if it's not broke, don't fix it. The under 1.5 coming in at -130. And I do think defense, goaltending start off hot in this game. We have a lower scoring first period, 1 goal at max in this first period. At -130, I do think there is value. Now, Carolina, they're dealing with injuries. They also are making mistakes on the ice. I do think they are the better team. And neither of these teams are doing good on the power play. So we can't even look at which team's going to take more penalties and look at the other team to be able to capitalize, because the penalty kill out of both these teams has been absolutely phenomenal. Neither team was able to score a goal on the power play in the last game. The Canes went 0-4 and the Islanders went 0-3. I think if we have a Carolina Hurricanes team come out here, play a perfect game, they don't make mistakes on the ice, they should get this win. I do think they're the better team, but we have an Islanders team at home with Sorokin in goal, whose backs are against the wall. I do think this one could get pushed to game 7, so I'm not willing to take a side here. Give me the under 7.5 in this one. Okay, let's look at the next game here. For sure, we have the Boston Bruins taking on the Florida Panthers. 7:30 Eastern, a matchup here. Total is high at 6.5, but I think high for a reason. The Florida Panthers are going to give it everything they have. Now, they won Game 5 to avoid elimination. That was a 4-3 win in OT. Matthew Tkachuk scoring us that last goal in overtime to cash us his anytime goal as well as the Florida Panthers for the win. In that game, we wrote their team total over 2.5, and that's what we're going to do in this one. I do think the opportunity for the Florida Panthers to hit 3 goals, win or lose, is the most solid bet in this one. Now the Boston Bruins are going to look to shut this out. They don't want to take this to game 7. No one expected the Florida Panthers. Well, I didn't. I know you guys, some of you probably did, but the Florida Panthers to be able to really give the Boston Bruins a challenge here. Now, Omar did not have a good game in the last game. Of 25 shots on goal, he did allow those 4 shots to come raining in. The Florida Panthers did a phenomenal job at their goalie, Bobrovsky, at stopping those shots. He faced 47 shots, only allowing 3 in. So Bobrovsky, definitely someone you want to look at tonight, targeting his goalie props to the over. Let's just see what his number is here, because we know the Florida Panthers, well, they have stepped up defensively since the playoffs have started here. They are not a team that are known for getting these block shots on goal, really limiting their opponent's ability to get these shots on goal. Now, Bobrovsky is not confirmed, so we don't have a number yet for him. Omar coming in at 30.5 at -130. We know the Florida Panthers normally get a lot of shots. They were one of the teams during the regular season that averaged 1 million shots on goal, it seemed like, at 36.8. But what we saw in the last game by the Boston Bruins, they held them to only 25 shots on goal. And this was a game in which the Florida Panthers were in the same do or die kind of situation. So their shots that hit connected. I'm going to stay off Omar's number of 30.5. I don't like it to the over. I would take it to the under if you want to take it either way. I'm just not big. I don't love betting goalie props to the under. Just personal preference, you guys. There is a lot of ability to make money on these props to the under. In a playoff game like this, when I'm so excited to see the Florida Panthers put up the goals, I just don't want to take an under prop here on Omar's save shots on goal. So looking at this, I do think Bobrovsky, he was just so elite in that last game, 44 saves. I would take his number 32 and below, 32.5 even, and below save shots on goal for Bobrovsky once he gets announced and the books get his numbers. Now looking at goal scorers, again, you know you have to throw Matthew Tkachuk in there for anytime goal, and I would look at him to get more shots on goal in this one. I do think he gets a little bit more open in this game here versus the Boston Bruins. We have Sam Bennett as well. You got to look at his points tonight. You can look at his shots on goal. You can look at his assists. Sam Bennett's been fantastic, and so has Sam Reinhart. Both of those players being difference makers for the Florida Panthers in these games. So Taylor Hall has done phenomenal for the Boston Bruins as well, scoring those goals. And Brad Marchand, you know how strong he is out there on the ice. So I think you have a lot of areas where you can get some player props in this one. Looking at the shots on goal for the Boston Bruins, because I do think they come raining in again. Now, the Bruins dominated the faceoff in the last game, winning 62.3% of those faceoffs. They also were strong on the power play, not as strong as I'd like to see them. They went 2-5 on that power play, 1-2 for the Florida Panthers. For the Panthers to get the win here, they cannot give the Boston Bruins 5 power play opportunities in this game. I need the Florida Panthers to really get their heads on their shoulders, play a clean game. Now, am I wanting to see the Florida Panthers win? Absolutely, because you guys know my Boston Bruins sweep went out the window. The Bruins in 5 went out the window in the last game. So I am going to look at the Florida Panthers here to give the Boston Bruins another challenge of a game. Can they win it? I don't know, but I think that over 2.5. Either way, we see goals out of them. The over 2.5 is at -128, you guys. You're getting a 6 over there for the total, Joe. And I like that. I do think this one is a 3 to 4 style game. So I'm okay with the 6.5 too. I could see this one going to OT again. There is a huge opportunity. And Larry, I know Tkachuk's shots on goal killed your parlay. He got that anytime goal. I do think the shots come in this one. And I do think a goal comes in this one. So I do think taking him would be a good one. Maybe take his assists in this game. Look for Sam Reinhart and Sam Bennett as well to get those points on the board. Look at their points tonight, you guys. Lots of opportunities for different players to get those goals. We saw that game 5 OT win 4-3. We saw the game 2 win for the Florida Panthers 6-3. And that's what I mean. This Panthers team, if they have any chance of winning it, they have to get these 3 goals. In the 3 games they have lost, they only scored 1, 2, and 2 goals in those games respectively. And I do think pivotal for them to come out here, get 3. Can the Bruins get 4 and pull off the win? Absolutely. It's why I'm not jumping on the Florida Panthers. But you guys know I will be cheering here if they get the win. Will I sprinkle +150 on the money line? Guys freaking know I will. So let's look at the next game before the show is over. We will double check Bobrovsky's numbers, see if he is coming in confirmed. He's still not at the moment, but I would love to see him in goal for the Florida Panthers tonight. Like I said, if his number is sitting right around that 32.5, I am going to hit it over. If we're getting higher than 32.5, I don't want to take it because, like I said, I don't like betting those unders. Looking at the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild, the Stars lead this series 3-2, and they're coming off a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal game in game 5. They got the shutout win. Jake Ottinger stood on his head. He saved 27 shots on goal, 4-0 win for the Dallas Stars. And they started off that first period so hot, scoring those 2 goals. I was kind of little miffed because I had the under 1.5, but then I had the Dallas Stars for the game. So broke even on the last game there. The Minnesota Wild are going to give it everything they have in this one. Gustafsson expected in goal. Now, Jake Ottinger has a 2.17 goals against average here in the playoffs with a save percentage of .925. He's playing his absolute heart out here in the playoffs, and I really like what we've seen out of this goalie. I was really scared last year when his contract was up. I really did think Edmonton was going to target him. I guess he didn't have the cap space because Jake Ottinger, no matter where he is on the team, is a difference maker in goal. And we know Edmonton picked up Jack Campbell, which didn't work out. So looking at the last game, game 5, like I said, a shootout win. Now we did see the Wild win game 1 and game 3. Now game 3, they won 5-1. Game 1, that was a double OT game in which the Wild won 3-2. I do think not so much game 3, but I do think the Dallas Stars played a much better game in game 1. In my opinion, this really should be a 4-1 series right now. I give the Wild that one game. We saw game 2, 4, and 5 won by the Stars. So like I said, 5 was a shutout. 3 was a 3-2 close, tight game. Game 2 was the blowout 7-3 with Marc-Andre Fleury in net. So I got to take that one out of the equation. And I really got to take game 4, I think, game 5. I don't think Jake Ottinger can recreate such a solid game. I think the Wild here on home ice do find the back of the net tonight. So I'm not willing to look at a shutout again. I'm not willing to look at Dallas to completely run away with this one. I think this is a tighter game. I think this is an absolute battle on the ice. But I do think at 5.5, I got to hit this to the over, you guys, just because I see the possibility of OT. Now, I think it's a 3-2 style game. I think the Wild find the back of the net twice. That 3-2, if it goes to OT, I think it's because the Wild have that extra man advantage on the ice, tie things up late in that third period, and we have OT pushing us 1 over the total and 2 pushing us into overtime. In overtime, I think the Wild take it on their home ice, pushing us to game 7 between these two, and I'd love to see it go to game 7. I'm kind of being selfish with wanting to see these games go to game 7 because I'm not ready for the first round of the playoffs to be over. It is kind of sad to see Winnipeg lose last night. I don't know if you guys caught that great moment between Connor Hellebuck and Bossett, the goalie for the Vegas Golden Knights. He used to be under Connor Hellebuck. So really touching moments on the ice. These guys really they play hard against each other, but at the end of the day, such good athletes out there. So this game, give me to go overtime, plus 320 to go to overtime. I really like what we saw in that last game. Now, I know that we saw the 2 goals in that first period, but they were so quick and fast in there. The Dallas Stars only had 11 shots on goal and held the Wild to 5 in that first period. I do think this is a slower first period here, as no one wants to make that first mistake. So I would look at, again, the under 1.5, even though it didn't cash in the last game, and then things to really open up in the second and the third. I think we will have empty netters. I think we'll have crazy things going on, especially in that third period. I'd look at the third period to be the highest scoring period between these two. Like I said, this first period, I really do think stays under 1.5. Hines has been absolutely on fire for the Dallas Stars. He has 4 goals and 11 points so far in the playoffs. So if you're looking to target someone from the Stars, look at Hines there. And then Ryan Hartman, I like what we've seen out of him for the Wild. Kaprizov hasn't been as strong as I would have expected him for the Minnesota Wild. He's had some struggles. He's only had 1 goal. So I wouldn't look at him, but I do think the best one is the over 5.5 in this game with the empty net opportunities, with the chance of going to overtime. I just can't hit it anyway. Could it be 2-2 going into OT? We could see that, but then at least we get the OT. I just don't see the Dallas Stars coming out and not putting up 3 goals. The Minnesota Wild desperate to win this and not be eliminated, especially on their home ice. I do think we see the 2, and then either way, either the Wild the Stars get the empty netter, or the Wild tie things up and we go to OT. So give me the over 5.5 and overtime plus 320. The last game on the ice, the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Seattle Kraken. 10 o'clock Eastern, low total for these two teams at 5.5. But understandably so. The defense of the Seattle Kraken being so impressed with what they've been able to do to Colorado. They got that Game 5 win 3-2 in Colorado, you guys. This is Game 6 here. The Kraken. Who would have thought we would be sitting here saying the Kraken looking to close out this series? Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, the Avs always do this in round 1. We see them go down. They come back. They push it to Game 7. They get the win, and they move on, and they win the Stanley Cup, like we have seen. But I do think this Seattle Kraken team has been playing the better 5-on-5 hockey. And now we got the win with Cale Makar off the ice, but Jared McCann was also off the ice for the Seattle Kraken, who's one of their normal top goal scorers. I don't think Jared McCann will be back after that hit Cale Makar put on him, but we could see him back on the ice. He's a game time decision from what I'm seeing. Colorado in the last game still did win the faceoff battles. They hit 59.6% of the faceoff, getting those wins. Neither team was able to convert on the power play. So I need Seattle to continue to play this strong. Hit-wise, we saw the Avs get a couple more hits on the Kraken, 41-39 hits. And shots on goal, we actually saw Seattle get one more opportunity with 29 shots on goal, 28 for the Colorado Avalanche. Now, Colorado is the reigning Stanley Cup winners. It's hard to believe that they could go out in round one. But it could happen, you guys. This Kraken team, how they are playing, it's just mind-boggling here. Now, Grubauer, huge aspect of this team, why this team is doing so well. His save shots on goal number tonight is 28.5 at -106. I do think we see more shots out of the Avs, even if the Kraken really do bring it strong defensively tonight. We know they limited opponents in the regular season to 27, but this is going to be a desperate Avs team with their backs against the wall. I really doubt they're limited to 28 shots in this one. I do think they get close to 33 shots in this, which pushes us up and over the 28.5 save shots for Philip Grubauer, because I don't see him letting in 3 or 4 shots in this one. So I am looking at his numbers. And because I'm liking his numbers, I'm also going to look at Georgiev here for the Colorado Avalanche, over 27.5 at -118 to the over. The Kraken got 29. I think this one, these teams do open up a little bit more offensively with these shots on goal, and we do see them come raining in. So I'm going to take both goalies for their over numbers in this one. The Seattle Kraken, you guys, we got to take them somehow. We have to have faith in this team. They've been playing the better 5-on-5 hockey. Let's take them in the first period. Seattle Kraken in the first period on the money line. That reminds me, we're taking the Florida Panthers in the first period on the money line as well. We can't forget that one. But taking these home dogs that have been playing so solid to come out and give us 20 minutes, their best 20 minutes to start this game off, punch the other team in the nose and get up. I love the ability of these teams to do so. And we've seen the Seattle Kraken dominate in the first period. We look back at the last couple of games. The last game especially, what they were able to do. It was scoreless in that first period, I know. But we saw them hold the Colorado Avalanche to only 8 shots on goal. They had 15. I love that recipe of how they're coming out there. Really strong, limiting Colorado, getting these shots themselves. I love their ability to win that first period. So Seattle in the first period, let me just jump back and grab those numbers for you. I know it's fantastic plus money, you guys. A goal in the first 5 minutes. That's interesting. Plus 180 in those first 5 minutes. I don't think I'd go there. But the Seattle Kraken, first to 5 shots on goal, that's coming in at plus 102. I do like their ability to get the first 5 shots. It's something I've never bet before, but I do think that is a good one. You guys, I could convince myself to just bet a whole bunch of things here for that first period. Why am I not just seeing nice and easy the first period money line there? First period money line is plus 116 for the Seattle Kraken. And I do think it's a really solid way to go. So between the Kraken and the Florida Panthers, give me both of those teams to come out really strong in the first period. Home dogs looking, well, the Kraken looking to finish it off. Florida Panthers not looking to be eliminated there. So yeah, they're looking so good out there, last men. So we will see what happens tonight. Of course, Colorado is going to give it everything they have to push this to the next game. Both teams to score in the first period. Anthony, I don't want to take it. Do you know why? Because I really want Seattle to get that first period. And 8-1. Could you imagine if the Kraken came out and got 8 goals in the first period? 2-1 first period. I just don't see happening. You could take the money line, and then we could still get both teams to score, and then we just push on the money line. That is probably a better way, or more. I think that has a better possibility of hitting. If I can talk 1-1, we push the money line and both teams to score. And both teams to score is going to give you both beautiful money as well. We know the Colorado Avalanche are going to want to completely come out here and score first, with knowing how Seattle has dominated them in that first period. So the both teams to score, I actually don't mind. It might be a nice kind of like hedging middle there in case the Avs score one late in that first period, because I do think if it comes late, and it just screws us over for the Seattle Kraken on the money line. So let's do a recap. Let's build a parlay. We'll check if any of these goalies like Bobrovsky have been announced so we can hit his save shots on goal. Again, I like Bobrovsky if it's under 32 and a half and under. So the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Islanders, you guys know I want to take the Canes to finish it off, but something's telling me with how good Sorokin is playing here, I cannot hit it. Now I'm going to hit Sorokin save shots on goal. I just got to pull up that number again for you guys. Sorokin save shots on goal is 30 and a half. We're going to hit that to the over, plus 102 to the over for Sorokin. His save shots, he is pivotal for the Islanders to be able to extend this series out one more game. Now, the Islanders didn't get enough shots for me to touch Frederik Andersen at all in this game, but the Canes put up those shots in the last one. Sorokin stood on his head. So the Islanders could extend the series. If Sorokin has the game, I think he will have. First period, I'm going to take under 1.5, and that is my favorite bet of this game. Islanders and Canes, first period, under 1.5. If it's not broken, don't fix it, you guys. Looking at goal scorers, you could look at a couple, but I don't love it. I would look at Sebastian Aho for the Carolina Hurricanes, shots on goal, just because we have seen a lot of shots out of Carolina, looking at their shots. But like I said, Sorokin's going to stand on his head. I don't like taking save shot or those anytime goals when I'm not too confident in who is going to score the limited goals in these games. The next game, the Boston Bruins and the Florida Panthers. You guys, I want to see the Florida Panthers pull off the win, because the Boston Bruins have screwed over my tickets. In 4 and in 5, they weren't able to get it done. So now I'd like to see them lose. We're going to look at Bobrovsky in this game to come up so strong. His save shots on goal, like I said, 32.5 and under. I would hit it. Omar here, we didn't see enough shots out of the Florida Panthers. I would play his number to the under if you had to. His number coming in, I believe that was 32.5, or maybe it was 30.5. I'd play it to the under, no matter what Omar's is, because I do think the Florida Panthers have been really limited by the Boston Bruins, even though they've been getting these wins. Now, my favorite bet of this game, like I said, is the Panthers a team total over 2.5. I think win or lose, they get 3 goals in this one. That's coming in at minus 128. First period on the money line for the Florida Panthers. Give me them to come out with a bang. That's one of my favorite bets of the day. The Panthers first period money line is plus 130. They have to hit. They have to hit fast if they have any opportunity of pulling off another upset and sending this one back to Boston for Game 7. Sam Bennett, look at his points. Matthew Tkachuk points, and Sam Reinhart points in this one. The Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. I want Dallas to finish it tonight. You guys, I just don't know if they're going to be able to. Here, the Wild, with their backs against the wall, are going to be a hard team for the Dallas Stars to get past today. I do think the Dallas Stars are the deeper and the better team. Just at home for the Wild, they are strong at home. They've been strong during the regular season at home. I think it's a hard spot here. Even with the Dallas Stars winning those faceoffs, only at 56.6% of the time. I do think in the last game, we just saw a poor game out of Gustafsson. Jake Ottinger really impressed in the last game. We know Dallas coming off that shutout. I think the Wild do everything that they can to extend this series. I'm going to hit the over 5.5, and that's what I'm going to throw into the parlay. Dallas and the Wild over 5.5. If you want to buy it down to 5 to put into the parlay, I don't blame you. You're just going to pay a tiny little bit more juice in there. I do think this one goes to OT. I love actually the Wild and the Stars to go to OT tonight. That's at plus 320. I definitely think that is worth a sprinkle. If you're looking for a goal scorer, I really like Hines for the Dallas Stars. I think he's just been absolutely phenomenal so far in the playoffs, and I can't not hit him here. And then the last game, the Colorado Avalanche and the Seattle Kraken. You guys give me the Kraken in the first period on that money line. One of my favorite bets of the day, the Kraken first period money line. We're going to get that at plus 116, I believe it was, or it was plus 106. No, plus 116. So what my mind's telling me. Tell me if I'm wrong. Grubauer, shots on goal. I'm going to take him absolutely to the over 28.5 save shots on goal at minus 106. The Avs will need to fire away in this game. Georgiev, I like his save shots over 27.5 as well. Whichever goalie has a better game, I think is the team that wins this, because like I said, I do think the Seattle Kraken playing better 5-on-5 hockey, but we are facing the reigning Stanley Cup champions here that will not want to go home. Got Cale Makar back in the lineup. This one's going to be an absolute battle. Give me this one to go to overtime as well. Let's see what the odds of this one going to overtime are. I believe it was plus 315, but that could have changed from last night. This one to go to OT is plus 340. I like it, you guys. I think this one goes to overtime. Again, we're going to have a phenomenal game out on the ice. Neither of these teams are going to want to lose this game here. I'd love to see the Seattle Kraken close it out at home. It's not that I don't love the Colorado Avalanche. So any Av fans out there, don't boo me. I love Cale Makar. I love so many elements of this team for Colorado. I just like to see someone else get through. So I'd love to see the upset. I love the chaos. I love the drama. The only place I love the chaos and the drama is within sports. So that is what I'm liking. You're thinking the Stars and the Wild. And it's probably good to stay away from that Stars and Wild game. Like I said, the Stars, better team. I just got that gut feeling the Wild push it to 7. You need props. Smith also got me only 23 saves. Yeah, it's frustrating when these teams come out and not getting things done. Brent Burns over 3.5. That has been hitting nicely. Boston being the team since the 60s. They better blow out the Panthers. Last man, I am hoping so for you. You know, I really thought they'd sweep the Panthers. I'm actually really impressed with what we saw out of the Panthers in the playoffs, impressed with what we saw right going into the postseason. I didn't think they were able to get it done. But for that last leg of the parlay, man, you guys, I am really torn with this game, with the Seattle Kraken. I do like Seattle to keep this tight. So, or pull up the upset. So for the parlay, I'm going to take the Seattle Kraken plus 1.5 on the puck line. I wouldn't recommend taking the plus 1.5 straight up because you're going to pay way too much juice. But in the parlay, I think it's a nice way to go. So we're going to take the Islanders and the Canes first period under 1.5. The Panthers team total over 2.5. Dallas and the Wild over 5.5, and the Seattle Kraken plus 1.5 on that puck line for that long shot parlay. Let's just see if Bobrovsky has been confirmed or not yet in goal. I really want his numbers before we leave here. He is still not confirmed. Like I said, Bobrovsky 32.5. Take it to the under. If it's 33.5, man, I don't know. Or sorry, 32.5. Take it to the over. If it's 33.5, I don't think I can still hit that under. I would just stay off of it. So that is what I am liking, you guys. I want to wish you all the very best in all of your bets tonight. Let's make some freaking money on the ice. Last night was a money maker. I hope you cashed on the ice. Let me know what you're liking tonight, what you're betting. I want to say again, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here each and every day. I will be on Sports Grid tonight with Dubs. That is from 9 o'clock to 12 Eastern for in-game live primetime and overtime. So please, please, please come over and say hi there. We'll be live betting all of the games going on, making you guys, helping you guys. Hopefully we'll all be making some money tonight. So you guys have a good one. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that like button and I will see you tomorrow. Can we do 3:30? No, we can't. These games. What time do these games kick off tomorrow, you guys? Something I should look at. Oh, the games are late. So I will see you tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern for Pikkit with Joe. We don't have games kicking off till 5 o'clock Eastern. You guys have a good one. Good luck. Everyone, make some freaking money tonight. I appreciate you.